How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. It's your boy Jay Larone with Jay Larone Presents, where we talk about the facts, foolishness, and black female effery. Now, in today's video, we're going to be looking at DJ Hamp with "This Might Be Risky." Um, this was a good show, right? What they was talking about. So, um, just to break it on down, sis was talking. They was talking about pregnancies and abortions and stuff like that. And sis brought up a point that when a man sleeps or lays down with a woman, right, he kind of gives up consent, or he gives permission, or he's saying that I'm making this decision to have sex with you raw, knowing that it might end up with us having a child, right? So she's saying that when that man, lays down with that woman and have sex with her unprotected, he's making that decision. He's saying, I know the chance of us is to have a baby. We might have a baby. So I'm saying that, yes, I want this. You know what I'm saying? She's basically saying that he's saying it's okay if we have a child because I'm willing to go raw inside you, knowing that if I shoot the club up and you have a child, that's the possibility. Right. And it is a great possibility that when you have unprotected sex, it's going to result in a child, right? Because that's what we were put on this earth to do is reproduce. But you know what I'm saying? You can easily go back and forth with this because as the man, we know that the woman gives us access, right? Now, if we're going in her raw and she allows it, right, you can easily say that's on her. But we have to think about it. You know, by going raw, that there's a high possibility of having a child. So if you know this, as men, why are we going inside these women raw, knowing that there could be a high possibility of a child, whether we want the child or not? You see what I'm saying? So if you know that there's a high possibility of having a child, why are we going inside of her raw? Even though we can tell her, hey, I'm not ready to be a father. I don't want a child. And she's not on the pill. But she allows you to go in her raw. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, accountability is on her, but the accountability also is on us as men too, right? You see what I mean? So we're going to go ahead and get into this video, man, and listen to how Sis broke it down, and DJ Hamp helps break it down as well, because Sis was kind of just talking. You know what I mean? So when you hear Sis say this, you don't really understand it, but when Hamp breaks it down, you'll probably get a better picture of it. You know what I mean? Because like I said, Sis was kind of like just wilding. She didn't articulate it well, so to speak. All right, but you guys, again, let's go ahead and get into this video. If you haven't, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. All right, fair use, fair use. Pull this up.
Leave it up there for now. This part.
Yeah. But it's very hard to say, because I would never want to impose my views on anybody else. But my heart just breaks for people who are in that predicament and have to make that very, very tough decision.
Yeah, that is. It's astounding. What were the numbers? Wasn't it in the millions for the clinics as opposed to? So we're talking about baby deletion rates right now here, right? I think it was 6,000 187s.
Yeah,
it's
not even close.
But isn't it a fact that you men brag about buying these abortions, sending chicks to the clinic when sex is supposed to be about reproduction? You know what I'm saying? So we've been talking, it's real cute to come up here and say what you think from the outside looking in, and then you mess around and hit 25 to 27, and you end up pregnant and single, before you know it. Because I heard a lot of women.
I want to stop it right here about something. Now, earlier, Sis said that men brag about sending women to the clinic to get, baby deletions, right? Now, we all know that that's not entirely true, right? Now, do men say that they woman might have had a deletion? Yeah, but I don't think men are out here bragging about, sending women to the clinic to get baby deletions. First of all, the woman has to be willing to get the deletion anyway. The men are just, they pay for it, right? But still, the woman has that's her choice. That right there is her choice. I don't know a lot of men who are making their women go have a baby deletion. A lot of women are wanting to do that anyway, so the man is just paying for it. But I don't see, men out here bragging about, I made my old lady go get a baby deletion, or I paid for so many deletions. I mean, I don't see it. Maybe there's a few here and there, maybe a small section, in the Pookie and Ray Ray department, but I don't see a lot of men doing that. That's my take on it. All right, let's get back into it.
Say what Lucky said. That's just a fact. I will never do this. I'll never do that. Next thing you know, you pregnant. Not only with one kid, but 2 kids by 2 different daddies.
Mm-hmm.
But we talk about the effect, but we don't talk about the cause. It's the men shooting the sperm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's the men shooting the sperm in these women. There's not an effect without a cause. And a lot of women.
Hold on. Let me ask just a couple clarifying questions. Y'all can jump in.
Okay.
So Sis was saying what she was saying, right? What do you guys think about what she was saying? You end up single and pregnant 25, 26. It's easy to say, but much harder to live by. Is that the reality? This threw me off a little bit, because Sis jumped in windmilling, and I'm like, we were talking about stereotypes that we would need to address. Nobody was really saying this is what it is, get your shit together. That's not what this conversation was. So I was kind of taken aback, because did we start pointing fingers when we started answering this question? Because it was the ladies giving information, saying what was what. Now, here's one thing I want to say. This might be a little bit off of what Sis was saying, but we've told the story up here. Bub and I replayed it out, if y'all remember, when we were like, all right, let's do the fake phone call. right? Where he called me like he got the slide pregnant in the hood and what he should do. We played it out and it was a role play. It was cool. But remember, we said that dude don't want that kid.
Facts.
I told you my man Fuego boss.
And Hemp is right about that. Now, what he's talking about, like, there are guys who, like you said, you might have a child by some, some chick you met some random in the club or wherever. Y'all hit it off for a minute. Y'all's feeling each other. Then you go back, you knock her down. You don't use a condom, and now she's pregnant, right? And we hear about this all the time, especially with these IG models and these NBA players, NFL players, right? So you get a chick pregnant that you really don't know and you don't like, but now, you know what I'm saying? Now you're like, dang, I don't want a child by this chick. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know her. She was just a random. So you don't want this child. But you already made that decision by going up in her raw. So now it's on her to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's her body. Like, she either's going to keep the child or she's not. And we see it all the time, right? You had the guy, what's that dude that had to pay his baby mama, or, well, according to him, she was pregnant. He had to pay her $100,000 to get an abortion, right? Still don't know if she got the abortion. Still don't know if this chick was even pregnant. And I can't remember the dude last name. I think it was Edwards or Anderson. Maybe that was his last name, basketball player. But yeah, the chick that he was smashing got pregnant, and he sent her $100,000 to get an abortion or a baby deletion. But like I said, we put ourselves in these situations by going up in these women unprotected, right? Even though they are allowing us to do it, but you have to ask yourself, just because these women are allowing you to go up in them unprotected, should you? Should we as men do that? You know, just because it's there to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's there for the taking, so to speak. Should we do it? You got to ask yourself these questions. Why are we doing it?
Said when his ugly joint got pregnant, he became pro abortion. And again, this is the stuff that's actually happening. So I understand what sis is saying, because men don't want the kids by who they don't want the kids by.
Right.
Again, I'm not saying this is mutually exclusive to what sis is saying, but I'm just thinking about that point, having real conversations in real life. When you get the wrong woman pregnant, men they ain't pushing her to have that baby.
Right.
You may keep quiet. You might dance around it. You might say, "Oh, let me know if you need anything," with your fingers crossed behind your back, hoping she make a different decision.
Mm-hmm.
You may not be saying it out loud, but that happens when you get the wrong woman pregnant because you're just having sex. What's it called? Recreationally.
Yep. And he's right. Hemp is absolutely right on that. Like I was saying before, it's like you will get a chick pregnant. We do have sex with women that we don't really care for, right? For whatever, it's like you said, it's random, it's recreational. So, but we do it because, hey, as men, it feels a lot differently, wearing a condom versus not wearing a condom. So we will opt to not wear a condom at times, right? And like I said, I've done it before in the past, right? I've dodged plenty of bullets, and like him said, you're keeping your fingers crossed. You know what I'm saying? Especially when she's saying it's that she's missed her time in a month and all that. So you are keeping your fingers crossed, and you are hoping that they do make that decision to delete the child. You know what I'm saying? And also, after you've had sex with them, you got your fingers crossed, hoping that they don't get pregnant as well. You know what I'm saying? And once you find out that they're pregnant, you're hoping that they go ahead with the deletion. So yeah, I mean, you're rolling the dice. That's all we're doing as men. When we decide to have sex with these women unprotected, we are rolling the dice. Because you might be with a woman who don't believe in baby deletions. She might be one of these women who, if I get pregnant, I'm keeping this baby no matter what. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have a choice. You really don't. As men, because of the laws, because of the way things are ran, we don't have a choice. That woman is going to keep that child no matter what, or she's going to delete it. We can't tell her what to do.
I mean, if you don't get it, you won't get it. But if you had those conversations before, I know I have. So I get where sis was coming with that, but I'm not sure. I'm just thinking, was it misplaced? Let me keep going. That was just kind of a brain, like a thought I had. You know, just keep going. Yes. Um, you think the responsibility is on the men for shooting the sperm
Absolutely.
in terms of the pregnancy?
Absolutely. But you're
Okay,
letting it go for if you don't have no intentions for it.
So this part, what's the reality? Well, one, what I'm hearing from sis is the expectation is that if you don't want to have a baby, don't come in her.
Right.
Wear your condom. Is that the expectation? Does that make sense? Now, what's the reality? And maybe I need to drop the link, but what's the reality? Does the expectation of if you don't want to get her pregnant, don't come in her, wear a condom. Should the reality match that? Or is the reality like niggas don't like, nobody likes condoms. So if she lets you slide without the condom, cats is sliding and don't nobody want to pull out. Is that the reality?
Okay. And good question. What's the reality? What's happening today? Now, back in the day, we did use condom. People use condom. People were strapping up left and right. You know what I mean? But now it's become a thing to where nobody wants to wear a condom. The guys don't want to wear them. The women don't want the men to wear them. So the expectation is to wear a condom, but the reality is nobody's doing it. That's why we have all these single mothers, right? You know, it's like 75, almost 80% of black women, you know, are single mothers, right? They're raising these kids, you know, but that's what it is. We have the black community has a rampant case of single motherhood, you know. So nobody's wearing a condom. Are you supposed to? Yeah, if you don't want a child. But we are going in having sex without a condom and then acting like we're shocked that this woman got pregnant. It's like sis was saying, if you're going to skeet up in her, you kind of you kind of made that decision because the possibility of her getting pregnant is a high possibility. Versus if you had a condom or if she was on some type of birth control, you lower that possibility of her getting pregnant, right? But yeah, so the reality of it is now, from what I'm seeing, is that too many of us don't want to wear the condoms. That's the reality. Nobody wants to wear protection.
Think about that for a second. Is what I just said the reality? If you sliding in something you don't want, right? If you slide into something you don't want to get pregnant, you slide without a condom because condoms suck.
Yep.
And it's hard and you don't want to pull out because pulling out sucks.
Yep.
Is that the reality? But think about that shit from for a second. And yeah, Darren, you're right. They get pregnant pulling out, you know, whatever, right? Not whatever, not casting a point aside. I understand that. But
And I'm going to elaborate on that just a little bit too, because I meant to say that earlier, but I forgot. But you can get a woman pregnant, even like I say, even like to say that, you know, when they say your pull out game weak or whatever, you don't even have to. You don't even have to fully, you know, ejaculate in that woman in order for her to get pregnant. You know, she can get pregnant by your what they call it, the pre-semen, you know what I mean? The pre-com, you know. I don't know if YouTube wants me to say that, but you know what I mean, the pre-semen, the pre-liquid, whatever you want to call it. So you don't even really have to have a full ejaculation in her to get her pregnant. Now, with the pre-semen, does that happen often? Probably not. You know, and it also depends on the woman's, because a woman has like a 5 or 6 day window, right, after her cycle that she can get pregnant. You know what I mean? So you gotta, I mean, and as men, we don't know that window. You know what I'm saying? We not, especially on somebody we just met. You know what I mean? We don't know that 5 or 6 day window that they have. So when you are having sex with them raw and you have that pre-semen, that can get her pregnant. Depends on how much leak out, right? So as you're stroking, you know what I mean? You might not even have a full ejaculation. You might pull out before your full ejaculation, but that pre-semen still can possibly, you know, what women can get pregnant off of that. You know what I mean? That has happened. So you got, like I said, the best thing to do is to wrap it up. But as men, a lot of us don't want to. And that's why we're getting caught up. That's why a lot of men are getting caught up.
If that's the reality, is the reality fucked up? And should we lean towards the expectation? Because when sis was talking, it sounds wild as shit.
Yeah.
What she's saying. But pull yourself back for a second. If the reality is we hate condoms, I'm sliding. If my pullout game is trash and I know it, should we align with the expectation that sis laid out? And should the expectation become the reality?
Yeah, because when you look at it like that, we did make a decision. When you look at it like that, we did make the decision. We went up in her raw. So, and we know that leads to pregnancy without protection. You know what I'm saying? You got to ask yourself that question. Did we make that decision? Like sis said, we made that decision because that woman, again, can do whatever she wants to after she gets pregnant. She can keep it or she can have it deleted. You know, it's like what's that dude name? Damn, what's that dude name? House of Hypocrites, right? The guy with the 7 baby mamas. Even though he told them he did not want the child, according to him, he told them that he did not want to have a baby. He told them that. But yet he still went up in them raw. And they allowed him to do it. Now he said that he gave some of them the money for a deletion. He gave them money to get the morning after pill and all that. But we know, according to him, 7 women didn't do it. 7 women decided to have a child, right? So even if you know you don't want to have a child by this woman, even though she lets you go up in her raw, why are we doing this? You know, we have to ask ourselves this question as men. Why are we doing it? If we know we don't want no child. We know this. Definitely know we don't want to have a child with this woman. And she allows us to go in her raw. Why are we doing it in the first place? I know, we all know as men that the feeling is totally different from raw sex and having a condom on, right? But why are we giving in to those that type of temptation, right? Because of the feeling, right? Yeah, condoms restrict the feeling. I know they have some that are like brass skin, to where it's like almost wearing nothing at all. And of course, they make all type of lubes and gels that you can still get that feeling while wearing a condom. We should know this, but a lot of people don't want to invest into that. You know what I mean? But we got to get to the point to where we're not just oh man, I got to get that feeling. That it feels too good. You know what I'm saying? It feels good without a condom. We know. I mean, come on now. We know this. And a lot of guys ain't pulling out, ain't gonna try to pull out. You know what I'm saying? What's more important? Are we going to keep populating the black community with with kids without fathers? You know what I'm saying? Because we know 9 times out of 10, a lot of these guys that are, you know, having these kids ain't sticking around, especially when they just met the woman. So we're going to have a lot of these kids born without a father around. These you making all these single mothers, all because of a feeling. You know, all because you know you don't want to wear a condom because it messes up with it messes up the sensation. You know, we got to do better, right? The decisions we're making now are totally messed up. Our heads are messed up, all because we want to, because it feels too good to have sex without a condom. You know, so yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people probably don't rock with sis because sis be wild and sis be talking all crazy and just coming off the dome with some crazy shit. But in this instance, sis makes a lot of sense when she's saying that men have already made that decision once they lay down to have unprotected sex. You know, because it's going to result in a child. The possibility of it resulting in a child is greater than when you use a condom. So again, why are we as men knowing that if we don't want to have a child with this woman, why are we going in raw? All because of the feeling, all because we want that feeling. You know what I'm saying? We don't like condoms because they don't feel good.
And I'm asking y'all to take this walk with me. I'm not trying to sound crazy or nothing like that. I'm considering what the fuck she's saying. Let me hold myself accountable. When I was outside,
And if you're just coming in for the first time, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Share the content.
if I could slide without the rubber, it was a large percentage chance that I was sliding without the rubber.
Yep. We've all been there.
Knowing I don't want them kids. Yo, so I'm asking y'all, is this the reality? Put a 1 in the chat. Nah, Sean, I'm not stopping using outside, bro. Sorry. So the lambskin shit is really trash, some dude. but think about this. The 1 in the chat, fellas. Is it true that you gonna if your man's, the people around you, the men you know yourself, was you sliding without that condom? Put a 1 in the chat. And Ronnie, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, if she ain't asking you and she ain't pushing you, and I'm saying you, feel me? But are you sliding without the condom?
A lot of us are.
And then if we are, Miles, I hear you, you know. So if you know you slide without the condom and you shouldn't, you know your pullout game trash, right? If we being honest. D-Town, you put your 2 already, bro. You can't fool me. I'm counting. Right? You know you slide without the condom, your pullout game trash. And then Sis said the expectation is strap up or don't have sex with her raw.
Yep.
Sis saying should be the expectation, and then the reality is what we saying it is. Does she have a point there? Is all I'm asking.
The shit is reverse, cause
she wilding. I'm not saying I ain't even fit. I gotta press play again, but I'm just thinking about that one line right there and how we actually live it out as men.
Yeah, it's reverse, man. Because at one time, like I said, the expectation was to wear a condom. Now the expectation is, a lot of guys are not. It's like it's that the expectation of it's like the reality now is like nobody wants to wear a condom, but the expectation is you should. You know what I mean? So it's like at one time the reality was people were wearing condoms. The expectation was not to wear one. You know what I'm saying? But the reality was a lot people were wearing condoms back in the day. Now, like I said, it's totally reversed to where nobody wants to wear a condom. Not wearing a condom is now the reality. And the expectation is to wear a condom, but nobody wants to do it.
I ain't even talking about the women yet, Marcus. I'm talking about the decision we make when it's time to get busy. When the heat is on. That shit crazy, bro. I'm guilty. Now, Alex, I ain't saying I hear y'all. I'm breaking it down though, Alex. We breaking this shit down together. So if we putting ones in the chat because we know how we living it out, I'm just breaking down that one line and thinking like, damn, the expectations are something we aren't meeting is all I'm saying. And the reality is we wilding.
Yep.
Interesting. Okay. And so are you believe, but let me ask you a question. You heard of that thing, My Body, My Choice?
It is what it is.
No, but do you agree with that?
Believe it? I don't. Yeah. I don't really think it all that deep into that mess because people say what other people want to hear.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
My body,
or
my
people
choice.
say, or people go with what everybody else is saying. My body, my choice. Shut up. We know.
Seeing this part right here kind of got me. Sometimes sis can be either very disingenuous or she knows what Hemp is asking her, but she don't really want to come out and actually say it. She wants to beat around the bush instead of just coming out and saying it is what it is.
It's your choice.
What I'm saying is, if you're saying it's on the men, should that change also where men should have say so? I
don't know nothing about that. All I know is the facts. You guys say stick to the facts, right? The sperm has to meet the egg, right? You have to shoot it up in the woman, right? That's just the fact. That's conception, right? So it can't happen. It can't happen without the sperm meeting the egg. No, so we want to talk.
You can tell right here, sis ain't listening to nothing I'm saying.
No, she not.
She said, I don't know nothing about that. I'm just sticking to the facts. Sis ain't listening to me, period. That's what's happening right here.
Talk about facts. That's just a fact.
All right, so slow down. Now, let me ask you a question. Are you a proponent of My Body, My Choice?
I don't know nothing about that.
So what that means? So what that means? No. So what that means is women have 100% say so as if that child is actually born or not.
But that's a given. That's a given.
Well, what I'm saying is, should that change if you're saying it's 100% on the men in terms of when the insemination happens?
It's 100% on you if you letting your sperm go up
in that
lady.
What I'm asking is should he have say so as if that child is born or not as well?
He already said so. You shooting it.
Okay, so you're saying that he lost his say so once he came inside of her.
You already said so when you laid down and made that decision. And that's what I can't take away from you, men. By no means. I can't take that away. You lay down with somebody, you don't pull out, or you don't wear a condom, that's on you.
It's on
what do y'all think of that point?
It's on the woman too.
That you made your decision when you decided to ejaculate in there. Is that invalid? That you made your choice after you bust that nut. B. Sammy was popping.
Well, yeah, on that issue, it's like I said, it's kind of it's on both. You know, the man knows when he busts his nut in her that she more likely she's going to get pregnant. But then again, you gotta it's on both sides. You know what I mean? So yeah, the guy knows, y'all both know, man and woman knows that if he ejaculates inside you raw, that you're going to get pregnant, or the odds of you getting pregnant are going to be high. So it ain't all on the man, it ain't all on the woman, it's both. It's both. So I hate it when they try to throw it all on one person. Both of y'all are accountable for that. She had to open her legs and allow him to go inside her, right? And on him, he knows that if he goes inside her without a condom and skeet, more than likely she's going to get pregnant. So, like I said, it's all of us. You know, men need to not go inside these women raw, especially women that they know that they don't want to have a child with, right? And women, if your goal is not to have a child, quit letting these guys go up in you raw. That's what it boils down to. That's what it all boils down to.
You made that choice when you bust that raw nut in there. When you know that your pullout game ain't 100% effective. Did you make that choice in terms of whether or not that baby is born? Is that when we give up is that when we make our choice there in terms of my body, my choice? You bust that nut up in her. Do you use your like, is that the choice you made? Damn.
It's a good question, though. But
I
like
want to say no.
Both made a choice.
I want to say no.
Both made a choice.
But should I be saying no? Damn, hey, Walk, that's what he said. You made your choice not to have a choice by busting that nut.
I mean, again, because once you bust up in, once you go up in her, like I said, we know. Come on, men, we know having unprotected sex leads to pregnancy. Women, we know unprotected sex leads to pregnancy. Again, don't let him go up in you without a condom. Guys, if she doesn't want you to wear a condom, why are you going up in her? Now, you do. I mean, when the woman gets pregnant, it's going to be her choice whether she keeps the child or not. You don't have no say so in that. So yeah, by shooting your sperm up inside her, you pretty much made a decision that yeah, I'm I'm probably going to have a child. You know what I mean? You pretty much, like I said, you made a decision. Now you putting everything on her. Now it's her decision to decide if I want to keep it or not. So there are decisions being made. You're deciding to have sex. You're deciding to have sex unprotected. You're deciding to shoot up in her, right? Knowing that she can't get pregnant. So yeah, you are making a choice. Everybody's making a choice. The choices you make, right, are yours. You made that choice. And you've also, as a man, given up certain, you know what I'm saying, certain choices that you can't make. Because you can't tell that woman not to keep the child or keep the child. It's gonna be on her. So yeah, that's why everybody says protect your seed. Protect your seed, because once it leaves you, you really don't have no control of. The only time you got control of your seed is when it's still inside you. But once you give your seed to that woman, yeah, you made that decision. You said, here, it's yours. You know what I'm saying? You gave your seed to this woman. Now she pretty much can do what the hell she want to do with it. That's what it boils down to. So yeah, guys, you have made a decision. Once you go up inside her raw and giving her your seed, you out of the picture. You made your decision. Whether she keeps that child or not. Because if she gets pregnant, it's up to her to keep the child or not. Right? By you laying down with her and having unprotected sex, you are pretty much saying that, yeah, I know this could lead to a baby, right? Even though you don't want a child. You know what I'm saying? Even though you don't want a child with this woman. But when you lay down with her unprotected, you are saying that, yeah, in a way, you're saying, yeah, I want a child. Because the possibility of you having one is going to be high, right? So when you lay down with that lady without protection, you are saying, in a sense, you were saying, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to have a child. Even though you're saying to yourself you don't want one, even though you might have said it out loud to her, I don't want a child, but you laid down with her and didn't use protection. So what sense does that make? You just contradicted yourself. And a lot of men, we do that. We'll sit up and say all day long, we don't want a child. I don't want to have a child with her. But then you will lay down with her without a condom, without protection. What sense does that make? That's the big contradiction right there that a lot of men make. Is saying they don't want to have a child with this woman, but then they go and lay down with her without protection. Shit is stupid. This is why shit is so fucked up. This is why you got all these NFL and NBA players having kids with these thoughts, with these IG models, and then they wonder why they're getting hit upside the head with this damn child support.
Damn. And Lionel, that's what I'm saying. I understand that point. I'm not talking about the women right now. I'm talking about us. I'm talking to y'all about us, about our action.
What's going on, Gail, at night? How you doing? Thanks for coming through. But yeah, it's crazy.
So if I bust a nut, I don't know if she on birth control or not. Am I basically rolling that dice? Knowing what I know, knowing the circumstances, understand child support, family court. I don't have no say so over her body. I know all these things exist in the earth right now. So if I know all these things exist in the earth, I know all the horror stories, and then I bust a nut anyway, am I making my choice? Let's keep it a buck. I'm just thinking, if I know all that shit, I don't need nobody to argue their stance. I need y'all to understand what it is I'm assessing. I want to say no, just like I've been saying no. But we know shit ain't equal.
Nope.
I go out at night. I could come back in the house at 4 a.m. My wife would bring her ass home around 11 o'clock at the absolute latest. It just let's keep it a bean though. I'm busting a nut. I know family court fucks me over. I know we get the short end of the stick, in all facets of that. I know that these women, who knows what they gonna go. I know they not letting us see our kids. But I bust that nut anyway.
Yep.
I'm talking about us. I don't give a fuck about what the women is doing. Let's keep it a buck. If I bust that nut, am I making my choice right there to be void of options?
It's a very good question. And we got to ask ourselves. And like he was saying, like Hemp was saying, with these courts designed the way they are, it is in favor of the woman. So when you give that woman your seed, what are you saying? Like I said before, you're giving it to her. And it's like you're giving it to her to say, here's my seed. Do with it as you will. Right? If this is a woman you don't want to be with, this is a woman you're not married to, one night stand, or you might have been seeing her for a week, a month, or two, or whatever. You gave that woman your seed with no intentions of marriage. You saying to yourself, you don't want to have a child. but yet you are having unprotected sex. You're giving her your seed. You're telling her, here, do with it as you will. Because either they're going to keep it or they're not. Right? So, I mean, yeah, you made that decision. And like I said before, it's a big contradiction that we as men make when we say we don't want to have a child and we go and have sex with women and don't use protection. You're rolling the dice. Why roll the dice? Why not just use protection or don't have sex with her? I know it's easier to say it than done. I know. As a man, I know it's easier said than done because I've been there. I've been there. I've rolled the dice plenty of times, right? And I've had my fingers crossed. Please don't let this woman get pregnant. Please. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been there. I've done it. So, you know, we're not perfect. We are not perfect. We're going to make those mistakes. We're going to have unprotected sex. And then we're going to sit up and say we don't want to have a child. And then we're going to be having our fingers crossed hoping that she don't get pregnant. And if she do get pregnant, we're hoping that she, you know, in most cases, we're hoping that she does go and get it deleted. It is what it is. And that's just, like I said, man, it's a big, we contradict ourselves all the time when we do this.
Like, yo, I understand. I want to say no. I want to say, yo, I want to be a part of to see if you do what or not, had a baby or not, abort the baby or not. That's what we arguing for. Damn. Yo, and that's what I'm saying, Darren. We already know life ain't fair. What's good for the goose ain't good for the gander, bro.
Yep.
The shit I do, my wife can't do. And the shit that my wife does, those I don't have those options.
True.
It was on so-called Columbus Day. She like, oh, I can't make the phone calls right now. I'm off and etc. What the fuck you talking about? That's a $10,000 job. Give me the phone. Give a damn about no so-called holiday? Fuck you ever said I don't feel good, I ain't going to work? Let's see what else to say.
Bump whatever happens after that. You gotta risk it all because you risked it all. That's just
okay.
fact.
So you're saying that she's void of responsibility. It's 100% on him.
What do you mean? That's after the fact. That's after.
No, what I'm saying is during sex, right, without the condom, etc. She's void of responsibility. It's 100% on him. If he decides he goes in there raw.
No, you both did that.
Okay, so you're saying it's on the man and the woman.
Yes, some both.
Yep.
So
and especially you, especially the man.
Especially
so you're saying it's more on the man.
You have the meaning if you have this thought,
it can't be more on the man.
If you have the thought that you might not want.
I hate when they say it's more on the man. It's equally, right? It's equally. You know, boils down to it, the woman allows the man to enter. Now, whether he wears a condom or not, now that part is the woman can easily say no. The man can easily say, I want to wear, you know what I'm saying? If he says he wants to wear a condom and she's cool with it, fine. But if she's allowing him to go in and he says, I don't want to wear a condom, but she says you need to wear a condom, then guess what? That's the clash. So either he's going to strap up or he's going to have to leave, right? You know what I'm saying? So you can't. I don't like it when they say it's more on the man, because when it boils down to it, the woman has the okay. She has to okay the interaction to begin with. You know, so if he doesn't wear a condom, she can easily say no. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, I hate when they say it's more on the man. It's both of them. Both of them are responsible. So I can't go with the it's more on the man part. It's both of them. You know, both of them has to be responsible enough to say, you know, to be okay with protection or without it. You know what I'm saying? Either you're going to be okay with the man wearing protection or you're going to be okay with him not wearing it. And on the guy's end, you got to be okay with her saying, I want you to wear protection or I don't want you to wear protection. You know what I'm saying? So you got to, it's got to, both of y'all pretty much got to have fucking the same mindset. You know what I'm saying? So if she don't want kids, you don't want kids, then y'all got to be 10 toes down in that and do what it takes not to have children, which is we're doing some type of protection.
A baby with this lady. Why are you laying down with her?
Okay. And do her thoughts matter at all?
You both are making a choice to have this baby. I can't.
Okay.
I'm not gonna be tripped up on that. I'm done.
Well, no, you're not done. So, question. You're saying, I just want to make sure I'm clear on your stance. I'm not even fighting it. I just want to understand it because you're saying it. So I want to make sure.
Either. I just said
I'm
what
just
I
going to make sure that you assess what
you
you're saying is all of it, like you addressing all of it. And so you don't. So you think you think it's a talking point also that women control access to sex, or you think that's a real thing?
I don't want to go down that road. I said what I said about conception. That's where I'm at this.
Yeah, but in terms of sex, though, right? Because you were saying
this is the accountability part right here. She knows that women control access, so why don't she just say it? That's all. I mean, I don't get that. Just say to women, and we all know it. I'm asking you a question that, you know, pretty much everybody should know. Women control access to sex.
Saying that he chose to have sex, so I'm wondering who controls the access to the sex happening in the first place.
You both made a decision, laid down and had sex.
Okay, but then because he shoots a sperm, it's more on him. Just to be clear,
you laid down and had sex. You deal with the consequences. Period.
But
both
so you're
parties.
saying it's
both parties, parties
equally.
If you want it to be equal, yeah, it's equal.
No, I'm asking that what you're saying.
I'm saying both parties are full responsibility and have to take full consequences because you both took the risk of having a child.
Okay. And because initially you said it was more on the men, but now you're saying both equally.
No, well, I'm saying equally overall.
Walk it back.
But for the men, you can't take the onus off self. If you lay down and shoot up the club, you cannot do that. That doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying.
Well, should he have purview in telling her to keep the child or not, sis?
If he wants to, yes.
So he should make her.
I'm talking about actually going through and having a baby. I'm not going down these rabbit holes of what the talking points.
Okay,
I'm
so
saying,
they made a decision to keep it, and he should be responsible.
They both made the decision when they laid down together and did not protect themselves.
But if you don't want,
that's a point that sis made right there that we not considering. All that I don't know if we missed, but sis is not even. So sis, what she's saying is she pro-life. So all that having a baby or not is not even a consideration. She know the baby's coming. Take responsibility. That's what she's saying right there. So I get what she's saying. She's not even talking. There is no option. The baby's coming once you bust that nut. So now it's your responsibility just as much as it is hers.
And that's because she's pro-life.
That's what she's saying right there. Yeah, because abortion isn't an option. So she's using the wrong terminology, so she sounds nuts. Talking about rabbit hole, this, that, and the third. But
she's pro-life.
The child is a potential consequence of sex. You know that going in. Pleasure is one aspect. Conception is another. And because you're not going in there to have a child doesn't mean that probability isn't there. So then to make the argument to say I wasn't doing it for a child, but you know, child is a byproduct of sex. When you raw dogging and you pulling out slow because you want to get that last stroke. Otherwise, it fuck your nut up. Keep it real. Y'all know. You try to get that last one, or else if you pull out too early, it don't feel the same. Stop playing with me. Yeah, Marcus, and that's the thing, right? And I had to play a little bit longer because I just heard it too. I'm like, oh, boom, 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 boom. She ain't considering no abortion, so all that shit don't even matter to her. And my brothers in the chat, including you, Marcus, because you know the truth, we know that also isn't a possibility.
Yeah, it depends on the woman you get with. Like he said, sis is pro-life. Sis is pro-life. So, and like I said this earlier, it depends on who you get with. You could be getting with a woman who believes in having children. Abortion is not on the table, right? Or the baby deletion is not on the table. So again, you don't know who you're laying down with. You could be laying down with a woman who wants to have kids, and you could be laying down with a woman who might not, and she might be okay with getting it deleted. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it all boils down to protecting your seed. That's what it all boils down to. Protect it. Quit going in these women raw, because you don't know who you going in raw with.
Brought the Bible and all that other shit. She don't read no damn Bible. Right? But she had I don't know. I don't really want to go into that. She ain't really had no point. But if you want the verse, I'll give it to you. But so there's a verse that says, if two men are fighting, right? And let's say one of the man's wife is standing there, and the man that is not his wife, if he hits her, right, and she loses the baby, his penalty can be whatever the father decides, especially if the baby passes away or is hurt significantly. It can be up to him also having his life taken, hurting that baby that's within the mom. I'll give y'all the verse if you want it, right? But it does, so there's shit there, like, so sis not even thinking about aborting no babies. Damn, we missed it. I missed it. Because I'm like, oh, she wilding, talking about rabbit holes, etc., etc. But that's where she was standing. Hey, yo, y'all doing a good job in the chat, man. I see y'all listening too, and hopefully my breakdowns are resonating. Even my brother Marcus gonna stick up for his brothers, point blank, period. But even said, oh, okay, I see it. She just be talking crazy.
The baby, and the baby is now in her stomach.
What I'm saying to Ro is, let me finish. The decision is made once you lay down raw.
That's what she's saying.
Yep.
So the expectation is what? The expectation is what sis is painting is, don't go in that bitch. Not saying she's a bitch. I'm saying don't go in a vagina raw. Right? Don't go in a vagina raw. Trying to use this pullout game that we know can be shaky as hell. And then get mad when she have or don't have the baby. She's saying that's the decision. And at sis point's not even have or don't have. She's saying that baby coming.
Yeah, because she's pro-life. But like I said, you don't know who you're laying down with.
But what's the reality? We going in raw. We pulling out late, hoping for the best. And that sounds fucking stupid.
You gambling. Like I said, you rolling the dice.
And I was a proponent of that for a long time.
We all were. Well,
we ain't meeting the expectation.
The majority of the men were rolling the dice.
Damn, man. Like,
but yo, you guys, tell me what you think. Like I said, a lot of people don't like sis because she be wilding, she be talking off the dome, just be spitting stuff out. But in this instance, she made a good point. She made a valid point. When we lay down with a woman raw and have sex, we already made that decision. Because as adults, we should know that by not wearing a condom is going to lead to, it's going to lead to pregnancy, right? We know that it's going to lead to pregnancy. So why are we doing it? That's the question we need to ask ourselves as men. Why are we doing it? If we know we don't want to have a child, and the possibility of us laying down with a woman who is like cis, pro-life, no matter what, she's going to have that child, right? Why risk that? Why risk your seed like that? Because no matter what, if you lay down with a woman that's pro-life, she's going to have that child. So you can't be mad. You gave your seed to her. You willingly gave it to her. It ain't like she took it. It ain't like she snuck it out of you. You willingly gave it to her. So you can't be mad. Like him said, if she decides to delete it, you can't be mad. If she decides to keep it, you can't be mad, right? But as men, what do? We steady hollering. We don't want to have a child with this woman. We don't want to have kids, period. But yet we're laying down with these women unprotected, right? Hey, so y'all tell me, what do y'all think? Is that accurate? When we lay down with these women, unprotected sex, and have unprotected sex, are we already making the decision to have a child? I mean, we know the possibility is there. It's a great possibility. Right? So, drop some comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you haven't, like, subscribe, share. Go ahead and do that. It's your boy Jay Larone with Jay Larone Presents. You guys, please be good to yourself. By all means, let's be good to one another. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great. I don't wanna go to work, cause my boss is a jerk, and I'm not even that paid. I need a change in my life, cause I don't feel alive, and there's nothing that makes me happy. Hold my beer for a minute, I'm about to quit my job, cash in for a ticket. I'm going on a trip and I don't plan to visit. I'm gonna stay there till I feel like I'm winning, and this is just the beginning. I need a big change, help me feel like living. I need a big swing, home runs I'm hitting, and I'll never look back, moving on till I get it all. And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? My strife, my right to fight, to die on. And this is my game to play, to claim a brand new name, And I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm a bit nervous that I might screw everything up that I've ever done. But what's the point of living if you ain't having fun? I guess I'll try this, try that, might miss, gotta find what I'm good at. I guess I look here, look there, over where am I scared, where am I at? I gotta make it in this life. Whatever makes me happy, know I'm doing things right. Sipping in the summer on a goose and Sprite, or find a nightclub for the end of the night, And we all got dreams, we all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?